This is the... Ready, Joseph?
Oh no, we're not singing, are we,
James?
James?
We got to do the thing.
We need auto-tune. We haven't got auto-tune.
Don't be such a fancy pants. We're just going to go, this is the James and Joe Garden Show. That wasn't too bad. That was.
I'm better off lower down. You see, I've just finally worked out after 60 years of my life that I'm better lower. It's like when I go. Is it soprano or falsetto?
No, Soprano's the top one. Soprano's.
I love the Sopranos. I love that series.
Hello. If you spend your weekends knee-deep in borders or crouched over the veg patch, you'll know not all garden clothing is made equal. That's why Genus Gardenwear exists. Designed by gardeners, for gardeners, every detail has a purpose. There are knee pads that don't slip, no more wet legs, pockets exactly where you need them to be, fabrics that stretch, breathe and survive season after season. Whether you're pruning the roses, lifting the dahlias or tackling the compost heap, Genus helps you stay comfortable and protected. So, if you're tired of clothes that snag, soak through or fall apart the minute you even look at a bramble, it's time to upgrade. Discover why serious gardeners won't wear anything else. Head to genus.gs and get ready to garden smarter, not harder. Use the discount code GC20 for 20% off today. It's their biggest ever discount and it's only valid until the 21st of December.
This is, as we've already said, the James and Joe Garden Show. We're doing it sort of live streaming, which is a little bit complicated, but we're going to make it. We are going to do the same as we usually do. We're going to do about half. The first half will be on a subject, a topic that we have chosen about, and various committees and focus groups have looked at to decide which are the best ones. And the second part will be questions. Now, there's a little sort of bit where it says add a comment where you can stick a question. Do not put a question there until Joe says go.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, don't put all the pressure on me.
I'm putting it on you because if you put it there, we'll miss it because we're going to be talking about this topic instead. So that
but what we want people to start thinking about questions.
Yeah.
And also, I would like to anyone who is going to ask a question later on when I say go, we like to know where they're from, where you're from. So let us know where you're from. Hopefully somewhere really remote and exotic with a very, very difficult accent to copy, because then we throw it over to James. He reads the question out.
I basically humiliate myself.
Well,
many different ways is how it works, isn't it?
But it's all good fun.
It is all fine and jolly, and you tend to like that. So let's just let it go and let it roll from that. So our subject for today, our topic for today, is basically about, okay, Joe, if you go out and do the gardening, okay,
do the gardening.
Hang on, God, I don't want to leave. So I'm trying to get rid of me. There we go. If you go and do the gardening, what do you wear? Do you just wear what you have got up and put on that morning? Do you think about it at all? Do you have any eye to stylishness? Are you just thinking, no one's going to see me, I'm just going to go and stick my face into that bit, I'm going to dig that hole, I don't really care what I wear, I'll just wear this?
I only worry about what I look like if I'm going to be on telly.
But do you worry a lot then?
No. No, I only worry that someone's going to spot that I'm in the same stuff I was wearing 20 years ago, and they go, "Oh God, he's still got that terrible shirt. Look at that. Awful.
He's got that dreadful thing."
No, that's the only time I really worry about what I'm going to look like. On when I go on site with all the guys, they're all branded up, so we have to wear high vis as well on site. Yeah. So there's a little bit of a should we call it a dress code? Is that pushing it a bit?
It's like going to Chelsea, high vis and steel toe cap boots.
Steel toe cap boots. Yeah.
I went on site the other day and I was wandering along quite happily, and I was wearing a pair of wellies, which were not, but they were okay because it was. And I sank really to the top of my gumboots in mud. It was so muddy, that thing. It just went woof, disappeared.
How did you get out? Did you get stuck?
No, I managed to pull myself out fast. Otherwise, I would still be there. But yeah, or somebody would come and pull me out and rescued me at some point.
I have lost a whole welly in there, and actually got my sock. I have lost the welly. I've stepped out.
Everybody laughed a lot when that happened.
Very funny. Yeah. But I generally like to layer up in this
Yep.
weather, James. But in the summers, you know, here we go. Let's get the trademark going, eh?
There we go.
Let's get the old trademark
Can we
out
put
because
put it on right. There we go. That's it. That's it.
we'll
That's
put it
the
on
Joseph
right.
we know.
And I get criticised because people, you know, when you're filming, they go, I can't see your eyes. And
Yeah.
you start pushing it back and then you push it forward and then, you've got a shadow on your eyes. But the reason I wear a hat these days is because I've had some skin cancer issues. I've had something chopped out there,
Yeah.
basal cell carcinoma, nothing too major. I wrote on the Garden Collective all about it. And then I cover up, my and I don't get my legs out because I once got my legs out and wore a pair of shorts and Charlie Dimmock said I look like a naughty schoolboy and I have got very skinny chickeny legs. So from that moment on, I'm just jeans, t-shirt, shirt. I do like to be comfortable, layers on, layers off in the winter. I've gone for jerkins more than long sleeve sweaters because it might be jerking on or jerking off weather, you know. So
you've done that joke before.
I'm doing it again. But you're looking rather snazzy.
Repetition.
You're looking quite snazzy,
I'm
Jake.
very snazzy because
What are you wearing? You're all branded up
Here we go.
there.
I'm standing up here.
Ooh.
I've got smanky waterproof trousers with stab-proof pockets in them that come from Genus Gardenwear, who are very sweet. And,
What do you mean stab-proof? If someone tries to stab you?
This is a very good point. It says stab-proof pocket, and I thought, I know what it is. It's when you put your secateurs in the pocket, the blade doesn't go through it. So I tested it earlier.
Wow.
And I put my secateurs in the pocket, and I tried to push them through into my leg, and I failed.
Well, don't do that. I hope you filled in a risk assessment.
It's what's called, product testing. I thought it was important that we
what's that, Kevlar? Is that Kevlar or something in there?
I don't know what it is. It's something. But anyway, whatever it is, it's very nice and it's very comfortable and it's very warm and it's very stretchy, which is what it should be.
What, the trousers are stretchy?
The trousers are stretchy, the top stretchy, everything is stretchy and breathable and all of those kind of things. So that's what I'm
Can you
wearing
imagine
today.
yourself gardening in that gear? What do you think?
Yes, I've done some gardening. I did some testing in it, and I did some gardening.
Oh, you're working for Veitch now, are you?
Yeah, basically, I'm just doing consumer testing is what it is. But yes, that's what I'm wearing today. Historically, you wouldn't see a gardener without a three-piece suit, would you? Really, people used to basically wear the same things all the time. You see the photographs of people working at Kew or at Sissinghurst or whatever historic garden it is, and the head gardener is there in a proper grey creepy suit with his tie and probably a hat. And then the under gardener, maybe if it's a warm day, they're allowed to take their jackets off, but they're still waistcoat and tie and all those kind of things. It was quite smart, very
smart, but not functional wear. I think that's the thing. Fabrics and like what you're wearing has moved on. Technical. It's called. I think some of it's called technical
fibers.
And boots these days are actually waterproof, maybe, and there's a lot of stuff out there. I've had a barber jacket that I did used to when I first started. Well, when I first started designing, I did go and buy myself a barber jacket.
I've still got one,
and a real one, not a Schneidy one.
No, a Schneidy one,
a real green one. And you'd turn up at clients and it's like, I've got my barber jacket.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get this job. Yeah, definitely. And then I don't know, everyone was wearing barber jackets. I guess that was
It must have been a moment. What is the oddest thing you've ever gardened in?
What, clothes wise?
Yeah.
Well, in France, I sometimes just sort of don't plan on going gardening, and then I end up gardening because I can't help myself. So probably swimming trunks and flip flops.
Yeah, that's
swimming trunks and flip flops and a hat. Always a hat.
That works. I have gardened in. Well, I had a penchant at one point for +4s.
Well, I was trying to impress my clients with the barber jacket, and you turn up with your +4. Seriously,
I had a pair of tweed +4s with sort of socks. And +4s, for anybody who knows, are basically quite baggy trousers that finish at the knee, and then you have a pair of socks underneath them, and they were quite convenient. I can't remember sure why I wore them. I think I probably wore them just for effect, and I would either wear +4s or another thing I used to wear at one point was jodhpurs with long leather boots. Yeah.
Okay.
I know, it's quite odd. And then there was another time when I gardened in a kilt.
You thought you were in some sexy book, didn't
Well,
you?
the previous one with the
You-
long boots. Yes,
You
yes.
thought you were in what's her name who recently died? The writer.
Oh, Jilly Cooper.
You thought you were in a
Jolly
Jilly
Super,
Cooper.
Jilly
but You're
Cooper.
turning up in your jodhpurs and your plus
It was
fours.
jodhpurs actually, and plus, but both quite practical for gardening. A kilt, less so, less practical, particularly as my job that day was to put a trellis on a wall.
Well, wearing a kilt.
Wearing a kilt, so that involves going up a ladder.
Yes.
And you have to think carefully before going up a ladder as to who is. What you don't do is you don't ask the client to come and hold the ladder for you.
No.
That's not a good idea. So you need to be careful of that. It's not something that I haven't done for a while because
It's probably not easy finding people to hold a ladder for you. To be honest,
not if I'm going up there
in that predicament.
It was just on this one occasion I particularly remember. It was a garden in Earl's Court, and I designed the trellis, and we put in this trellis up the wall, and I had to go up and do it. But a kilt gives you freedom of movement. Lots of freedom of movement. There's lots of places where everything can move, if necessary. Basically, is how that one goes.
Is that what we get if we get back into Europe? Do we get freedom of movement?
We get freedom of movement.
And we can all wear kilts. Yeah, okay. I would have liked to have seen that. Okay, so you used to dress up. You used to dress up to garden. I was much more just jeans and t-shirts and mud and boots and layers, and waterproofs are the tricky thing, aren't they? Really good water. Is anything really waterproof?
No. If you stand out there long enough, it will leak. It will get through. I've got a very smart sort of, like a waxy jacket, like the barber thing.
Yeah.
And it's fine, but you have to get it re-waxed. The secret is you need to get it re-waxed every couple of years, because otherwise it just becomes unwaterproof and basically water gets into it.
What about your branded stuff? What about the Genius stuff you're wearing now? Do they do waterproof gear?
I'm sure that they do. I'm sure they do. I mean, it should be. It's good gardening clothing. It should be suitable for every weather. So, I mean, this would be fine. I was gardening in this in the drizzle, and I came out of it reasonably dry. So that was something.
Does it deflect raindrops?
It deflects the raindrops.
That's
but
nice.
I think it'll get it will, like you say, it will get you in the end. The waterproof trouser is quite an interesting discovery.
Well, I bought last year. I bought myself a pair of technical trousers. They're the noisiest trousers I've ever. Every time I walk along, I'm literally saying to myself, "Be quiet, will you?" So Alan who goes sort of stalking and hunting and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
He has to have really quiet trousers, and I went out with him with my noisy trousers, and I'm like. I like technical trousers, and they might have stab. So what else can you put in your stab-proof pockets? I suppose you put your hori in there.
Stick your hori in there. Stick a knife in there. All sorts of anything you want.
Your secateurs.
The secateurs can definitely go. There's a special secateur pocket just by my.
Have you got a belt? Have you got like a tool belt?
I do. Do you have a tool? I think somebody was writing about this the other day and saying that there are whole internet sites dedicated to people wearing tool belts.
Oh, right.
Yeah, of both sexes all over the place. Apparently it's a thing, is wearing a tool belt. So I have a tool belt, and on that, okay, what have I got on my tool belt?
What, a pervy thing, you mean?
I think
is it just wearing a tool belt and nothing else?
I think that's the option. I have to say, researched it.
I think a
anybody
kilt and a
that
tool
knows
belt.
more about this than I do, then they're very welcome to put a comment on them.
No, we don't want people who know about that sort of thing on it.
The Tottenham supporters, all of the Tottenham supporters.
I'd have thought a kilt and a tool belt would be quite a combo.
Yeah, no, I don't think it would work. You can have a sort of leather kilt with a tool belt. That would be quite fun, wouldn't it? It'd be quite exciting. But on my tool belt is a little leather holster for my secateurs. That was made for me by Juliet Roberts, actually.
Oh, yes, Juliet, shout out.
Was given to me for my birthday at your house.
Oh, that's right.
She came. So Juliet Roberts, who used to be the editor of Gardens Illustrated and is a noted RHS judge, is also a leather worker of some distinction and skill. And so
that's right. She lives in France, and she makes amazing bespoke sort of tool, tool belts and all sorts.
I think
satchels and things.
They're available from Great Dixter. Should you decide?
Oh, really? Fancy.
So
well, it was my 60th last year, and I never got one from her.
Oh,
no, I didn't know.
Because they're custom made for very few people.
I don't think we're close enough, to be honest. if the truth be told. But it's a beautiful thing. Do you use it?
Yes.
Because the thing is about those tool belts is I end up leaving tools. I put them on benches and I put them on paths and stuff like that. I very rarely sort of have them around me.
No, I have them. Well, that's why I have them on my belt, because I would leave them in a pot, and then I would say to Celestia, have you seen my sections? And she says, yeah, they're over there where you left them. I haven't seen my hori for 2 weeks. And then you'd find it somewhere in a flower bed. That's what happened.
Yeah.
Horis, which, as everybody knows what hori is, it's a Japanese knifey thing. They make themselves invisible very quickly. After a very short space of time, the handle is the same color as the blade, which is the same color as the soil, and they disappear.
Yeah.
If they thought about it, then they would make it bright yellow or something like that, which means that you'll be able to see it. And I spoke to Jake Hobson, who's in charge of Milwaukee, on this subject, and he said, but if you lose it, you have to buy another one. So that's a bit of sales.
Really?
Yeah, you see.
Oh, right. Okay.
Right? And then you find it again, and it comes back. I have actually, I think I put one in the recycling bin once, and it just sort of disappeared because I couldn't find it anyway. It just sort of vanished.
Yeah, I do sometimes find tools years later.
Yes. Have you ever had secateurs that you've left in the compost heap and then find them literally 2 years later, but they come back again? You have them renewed, have them jazzed up again, and they'll still work.
No, I do that all myself with a bit of wild water. I like doing that sort of thing. I'm not sending them off. I know you'd send them off probably.
But you can do with Felcos. You can send them off. I think, and
I know
you send them back all nice and fresh and sorted.
Yeah, but you can do that stuff yourself. Can we get onto footwear now? Because I think.
Have we finished with? We've done heads. We've done bodies.
No, that's the way we should work. The way. Yeah,
we're going down now. Okay. What about gloves?
What about gloves? I'll put another hat on it.
I'm going to put on this hat.
But I know what you mean, because you used to always, James the hat always wore a hat. And then I'm with you, it's the glasses, because I have to wear glasses on this thingy podcast. But if I take them off, but then you put them on, and it's the glasses and the hat that don't really.
No, it doesn't. So I can take those off, and now I can't see. Do I look good? I have no idea at all.
You look great.
Oh, thank you.
You look amazing, James.
I look much better like that. So yeah, this is an Australian Akubra hat, of which I've had a number in my life. And I bought the first one, I think, in about 1986 or something. Very, very good for the rain. You've got this, and it sheds it off. The main problem with the rain and this hat is that there's a dip in the top here.
Oh, yeah.
That fills full of water.
It's a water feature.
It's a water feature. It fills with water. And then when you tip your head forward, it all goes down your trousers.
Yes.
But it's a very good hat for the sun, very good hat for the rain. But I only wear it in my own garden nowadays. So that's that. So we've done that.
That suits you, that hat.
Gloves, or do you want to go straight to feet?
No, I'm happy to do gloves. I'm going to talk fishing. I'm happy to talk fishing clothing, because I spend a lot more on fishing clothing because you have to, because you're in the water, you need the boots. It's all got to be, that's serious stuff. Here, if you're gardening at home and you get all wet or muddy, you can just go and change, can't you, and do it all over again. It doesn't matter. You don't really fall in. You very rarely fall into a garden. But yeah, let's do gloves then.
Okay. Some people don't wear gloves. Monty, I don't think wears gloves at all. I think I've seen a television program with him pulling out brambles without wearing gloves.
If you ever shake Monty's hand, his hands are like bloody leather. They are like leather. Yeah. Honestly, I don't wear gloves on the whole, but every now and then I do. But I've got, I use them if I'm using sort of chainsaws or mechanical equipment, or roses or pyrocanthus, something really thorny. Then I do. Wear gloves, but I actually generally wear those builder's gloves these days that are really lightweight and easy to slip on.
Yes, they're good, and they I wear them much more than I used to. I used to not wear them at all, and I used to get these really big cracks in the ends of my fingers from cement dust and stuff. And I used to have plasters all over my hands all the time, and so I stopped doing that. And now I have hands as soft as I guess a baby's bottom. Probably.
Oh, how lovely.
I know. That's, it is really nice, isn't it? And do you moisturize? Do you use hand cream, Joseph?
No, I don't use. I know. No, I cook with olive oil every now and then. I sort of, rub that.
Rub a bit of that in.
But no, my hands are quite coarse and quite rough, to be honest. But I do like getting my hands in the soil without wearing gloves, and really be able to feel what you're doing and the textures and stuff.
I do that much.
But every now and then you do get a bloody great big thorn, or and you think,
splinter or something in it.
Splinter.
But I have 3 pairs of gloves. I have a pair of light pair, and then I have a waterproof thermal pair, which are blue. I think they come from Milwaukee as well. I really think he should be starting to send us some kit. We've mentioned him so many times on this podcast. And then I have a sort of leather, really thick, leathery pair for doing roses or thorns or anything like that. So
yeah, I've got the gauntlets that go up, up to here.
You got the whole thing.
Yeah, because I got a blackthorn hedge, and last year I laid half of this hedge, and you really need the gear for that, because
blackthorn
lethal.
goes septic very quickly.
Yeah, exactly. It's quite dangerous, and
it's really not nice.
Yeah, but I do. Speaking of Milwaukee, Jake, I did get a nice spade arriving this week. I mean, I'll show it to you later. And I can't talk about it.
What, a golden one?
I can't talk about it, James. I can't talk about
it. Golden spade. Okay, we got to do boots now, because I think we've done hats, we've done scarves and layering, we've done tweed suits, as in the 19th
We've done kilts.
We've done jodhpurs. We've done all of those kinds. I used to get all my gardening trousers. Used to be my mother-in-law's throwaways at one point. She used to put all her old clothes in a thing in the washroom. And whenever we went around there, I used to go and raid her throwaway trousers, because they sort of fitted and they were useful. So I did wear them.
What about long johns? I wear in the winter. I do like a pair of long johns.
Definitely Uniqlo stripy long johns.
Yeah, a pair of long johns. That's layering up quite nicely.
That's definitely layering out. No, I look forward to a thermal vest day, because it's quite nice, and thermal long johns day. That really is it's quite a red letter day, I would say that was.
Yeah.
Boots. We need to do boots. What sort of boots do you have? What do you own?
I've got quite a few pairs, but I'm mainly wellies these days now. I live in muddy Dorset. In the winter, it's just wellies on all day long. Apart from, I've been gardening, seriously hardcore gardening the last 2 days. I've been out there shoveling all my, I've been planting my corners and backfilling, and then I've been shifting all the bark chips and stuff and mulching and all that. Problem with wellies is some of it ends up going, if you're shoveling soil and stuff around, some of it ends up in your wellies, which I don't like. It ends up in your wellies.
Well, you could always to put your trousers outside your wellies, or
no, they're too wide. My wellies are too wide to get my skinny jeans.
The answer to this is +4s, Joseph.
Is that what +4s are for?
Because then the +4 is you just have sock that goes into the welly, and then the trouser overhangs the mouth, the opening, the orifice at the beginning of the gumboot, and stops the mud from going into it. It's a perfect solution.
Or a gaiter.
A gaiter would work quite well.
Gaiter. I used to play golf with a guy who wore gaiters, and because we'd all come back covered in mud, and he would sort of take these gaiters off and go straight to the bar.
The gaiter is like the galoshes. Did he have galoshes?
Yeah, my dad had galoshes. So all around London, it was basically like a rubber overshoe.
Yeah, precisely. It's the forerunner of the croc, I think, probably, but even less stylish than that. But yeah,
it's a good word though. Galosh. Galoshes.
I think we should have a revival of. I wonder if anybody in the world makes galoshes any longer. Maybe there's a part of the world where they have a cottage industry, and all they do is they have an entire town where they just make galoshes. It's probably in China. Do you know there's an entire town in China where the only industry is making the little clips that go on the back of bras? Okay. And that's all they make. That's every single bra clip in the world is probably made in this one small district, and that's their sort of specialty.
Can I ask what you were doing there?
Just hanging.
Have they got a garden there or something?
That was I'm not sure I've ever been there. But
you haven't been
read
there,
about it. I've been to China, but I haven't been to that.
Yeah, you've been to China a few times, haven't you?
I've been to China a couple of times. I've been to Shanghai.
I was meant to go to China on literally March when COVID hit, and I had my flight booked and everything. And I was because you got me a gig judging over there and doing some teaching over there as well. Because I speak fluent Chinese as well. I mean, I had to learn that. That took me a year to learn my Chinese, and I was all ready to go.
Ready.
My overhead projector and everything, and then I was projected around this flower show on the screens and everything from Hackney, and they kept saying, "We'll send you masks. We'll send you masks." And I said, "No, it's fine. We don't wear masks in this country yet." And a couple of months later, we were all wearing masks.
I got sent 400 masks or something by a very nice Chinese lady at that time. They said, "We're sending you masks, sending you masks." And they said, so they did. They sent us 2 boxes of masks. It was very nice. Boots.
Oh, I lost you there, Jimmy.
Are you back? Am I back again?
I lost you completely. No, you're back. It's great.
Okay,
it's
that's
lovely.
fine.
I thought you had frozen forever because how could you freeze in that lovely warm clothing that you've got?
I cannot freeze at all. Okay, boots. I have gum boots like you. I have Blundstones. We might as well get a bit more product placement in here. Blundstones boots. Do you have them? You should have them. I have a pair of Timberland boots that I don't wear very much because I can't be bothered to do up the laces.
Well, that's it. I do have Timberland boots and I do up the laces, but they're a bit of a pain. Yeah, they're a bit more
every
of a
time
pain
you have to come inside, you go to take them off because they've got deep welts and then fill up with mud.
Yeah.
And then I've got a pair of Dickies.
Oh,
boots.
Dickies. Yeah. I've got a pair of them as well.
I got a pair of steel toe cap ones when I had to go to Chelsea.
Yeah, I've also got steel Stanley boots as well because my son's still called Stanley. So I thought, and they look a bit
nice.
They look like trainers. They look like Adidas trainers with the stripes down the side, and they're actually quite surprisingly comfortable because I've got about 3 or 4 pairs of steel boots, and they're not comfy things.
No, they're not, because they've got a steel toe to them. They're not going to be comfy with that. But yeah, you can get. I see people building gardens at Chelsea who've got ones like trainers that do look considerably more comfortable.
They're really much more comfortable. But just going back to the welly, so if you're digging with a sort of sharp spade, the bottom of the welly is not great. I don't think. I don't. Maybe there's a welly with like a steel implant right where you dig, because I think I've got a hole in the bottom of my wellies, Jimmy.
Because of that.
And they're not cheap wellies. We're talking over 100 pound wellies.
Proper Le Chameaux or
well, not quite that fancy. But not as fancy as you.
They should have a metal bit that runs along the underside of it. Well, they're going to have to do that.
Well, we can invent that as well. We can definitely bring.
Do you think we should have James and Joe Garden Show branded products that we've invented? Like, okay,
bring back the galoshes. We're going to and galoshes. We're bringing
galoshes. Definitely galoshes. We're going to have them and special fancy gaiters.
Gaiters, yeah, no doubt about that.
Very definitely. Branded James and Joe Garden Show +4s. I think.
Okay.
And we can design a tartan. We can design a tartan in James and Joe Garden Show tartan colours.
That would be good. Yeah. What are we going to get together on that with the crayons?
I think we're just going to get it all together and sorted out and deal with it. And it's going to be amazing. This is going to be a whole new business. The James and Joe Garden Show. We are going to be. What are we going to be? What are like technocrats but business people, executives? No, we're going to be entrepreneurs.
Entrepreneurs. Well, wasn't it George Bush who said that's the problem with the French? They haven't got a word for entrepreneur.
Oh.
Apparently he really said that.
He really said that.
I mean, I don't know if it's one of those sort of urban myths, but it's quite a good one.
It could be something like that. Do you think we should open up the comments and look and see what people have been saying?
Oh, it's a bit. Yeah, I know. It's a bit like Christmas has come early, isn't it?
At the moment, we're just blithering away at each other.
We are.
We had no questions until now.
Rain, wind, mud, sun. If you're a gardener, you face it all, sometimes in the same hour, but Genus Gardenwear is built for exactly that. Their clothing uses technical, high-performance fabrics you'd expect from top outdoor gear, but tailored specifically to the way that gardeners move. Thick, reinforced knees, clever zipped vents, deep, stay-open pockets, and waterproof materials that actually breathe. So, whether you're mulching in January or deadheading in July, Genus works with you and not against you. It's the kit that makes gardening not just easier, but far more practical. Upgrade your wardrobe and transform how you garden. Visit genus.gs and use discount code GC20 for 20% off today, because the weather should not decide your gardening day.
You want to make it a bit more interactive? Here, Judith Coulson, Cleve West used to wear. Cleve West, Who's
What?
Cleve West?
What did he wear?
He used to wear a brilliant tunic / anorak thing, which I envied. He looked terrific, but then he probably rock a potato sack. Yeah, Cleaver looked good in anything. I've got to say.
It's absolutely wrong. Anyway, there's various people who've asked questions, but we've sort of missed them. But Louis will pick them up. And so with whether we've got any proper questions, because basically, this is now going into, I think, possibly the second part. We can have we covered clothes, Joseph? Anything else
Yeah,
you want
look,
to say about
someone here,
clothing?
Susie Joyce. I've had a pair
Hang
of
on,
jeans
hang
trousers for
on. Oh,
about
yeah.
10 years. Wonderful.
Oh,
I'm
well,
just
there you
reading some
go.
comments there.
Then I will look forward to having more of those.
If you could invent a dream piece of garden clothing, what would it be? Right. Well,
Okay.
there's quite a lot of football pundits these days, when it's really cold, they have plug-in. They don't plug them in. They have USB plug-in, jerkin type things, like a sort of sleeveless, what are they called? Like puffer things.
Yeah.
And you can plug them in and they like their body, they've got a built-in body warmer.
Well, like they have for motorbikes.
Yeah. And
Where
they've got, and you can get, I think you can get long johns. You can have your whole thing literally toasting away, roasting away. But when you're gardening, you don't want that.
No, you don't. We've spoken about this before.
Yeah.
It's quite a satisfactory thing to be forced to strip down to a t-shirt while digging a hole in February. Isn't it? I mean, that's quite a nice feeling. That you start off all layered up. The whole point of having layers is so that you can remove them gently. It's like the horticultural dance of the 7 veils. Except we only ever get as far as veil number 5, because if we got to veil number 7, then we'd be arrested, I think, probably.
Well, you might get arrested in that kilt anyway, frankly. Don't the thought of you going up any ladders. You didn't used to do tree surgery in your tree surgery days,
not in the kilt. I think that would have been... But
what would you invent? Come on then. One item of clothing that you think is completely lacking in the gardening world. Or for you. Maybe let's personalise it.
And I've never bought a boiler suit. Okay.
What, a onesie? A onesie?
But no, like a boiler suit.
Like a working boiler suit. Yeah.
A proper pair of overalls basically. So the whole thing's on. It's like farmers always have a boiler suit that they put on over their clothes in order to muck out the cattle.
They're quite good. They're really warm as well. They keep it, and then you take it off, and hey presto, you're just back to your civvies.
The problem is, the taking off is quite a faff and quite a fuss. So what I would like a boiler suit that comes in 2 halves vertically, joined by Velcro. And so basically what you do is you grab your neckline and just go whoof, and the whole thing comes off.
No, we've seen that's Brotherhood of Man, isn't it? Or is that Bucks Fizz?
Brotherhood of Fizz or whatever. Yeah, Bucks.
We've got the Brotherhood of Fizz.
But that's just I want to be able to do that with my boiler suit. You go whoof, and it's off, and it comes off in one go.
In one go, and there you are. All underneath, all we've got is your tartan. And well, so it would be interesting. If anybody wants to, text in on the live stream their dream piece of clothing that they want James and I to actually design and invent and market it. We do the whole thing, it could be plug-in, it could be non-plug-in, it can be whatever you want it to be. I've got one here come through by email from Dean.
Gosh.
Dean.
Okay,
have you got a good Dean accent?
Dean comes from the West Country. I
know Dean. He's a big Arsenal fan, I think. Dean Croucher. Yeah, okay. I'm going to do my...
He used to work with Carol. We haven't mentioned Carol Klein for 2 weeks.
Well, hang on. The question's coming. We haven't mentioned Carol for 2 weeks.
No, we haven't. It's a disgrace.
How many times? Carol Klein. Get it, Carol Klein. Sweet Carol Klein.
Boom, boom, boom. Okay, you read out the question.
All right. Hello, chaps. A question for you for the show. You both obviously have a good sense of humour. Oh, stop it, Dean.
Stop it.
So my question is, have you ever been asked by a client to use humour or a sense of fun in a garden design? And if so, have you done it? Or what have you used knowing that humour can be a very individual thing or interpretation? As an add-on, have you ever played a prank on a colleague, employer, or client in relation to their garden? Yes, I have. One prank backfired, one worked a
He doesn't
treat.
tell us which one backfired and which one works a treat there.
Dean is a self-employed gardener for 32 years, including a spell with the legendary Sweet Carol Clive.
Boom, boom, boom.
We all met at Malvern a good few years ago. Fellow
did.
Arsenal fan. Nice one. Nice one,
Okay.
Dean. Okay, so humour. I like humour in the garden, but it's sort of, it's hard to explain because if it's too obvious, it's just a bit of a jokey
Yeah.
prank. But you want somewhere where you turn a corner and it makes you smile or maybe lightly chuckle to yourself. But I can't quite put my finger
quite
on
difficult.
where or when.
You see anything that is humorous and put in a garden, what basically happens is if you see it every day, then that joke stales very fast. So
Yeah.
so for example, wherever he is here.
Where are you going?
Here. Okay.
Yeah, Jekyll.
This is Jekyll. Jekyll is amusing and entertaining, but if you saw him every day in your garden, then the joke might pall after a shorter piece of time. Likewise, the other bit of evidence I have of that is, have you seen those things where you go and there's half a dog, basically? There's a dog's bottom sticking in the air, and it looks as if it's digging a hole in the garden. I mean, not literally a dog's bottom, but a plastic or a pottery dog's bottom, and that's there. And you think, oh yeah, very funny.
Yeah, a nice
But
piece of sculpture.
Every day, it would just be quite wearying. What have we done that's been? I mean, okay, we've done gardens that have been fun and entertaining. It's like the one.
Well, you have. You're more. I think you're more fun. I see myself as less fun. I mean, not in real life, but I mean, in my garden design, I try to take this art form to a different level, James. You know, and I think the real point is that it's hard to combine humour when you're up there like that. When you
have the intellectual heft of a Joe Swift, it's quite
well, when
tricky,
you're just trying to imbibe, everything around you. It's hard to just sort of throw in a little gardeny, a bit of I don't know, light-hearted whimsy.
I like a bit of whimsy.
You do like whimsy.
Okay, well, that whole garden that we did on Small Town Gardens we talked about before, that was basically made of rubber and chain.
That was a good one.
That was whimsy, wasn't it? Really, that was quite a fun thing to do.
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah, and groundbreaking, I think, actually.
Well, I mean, it was.
I've never seen one before. I've never seen one since.
One again. I think I killed the genre when it happened. But the other thing is, historically, you would walk around a historic garden and there would be jokes. You walk along and suddenly some water would pop out of the ground and sort of make you jump. Go, oh, like that. Oh, it's just, I think the Italians are particularly keen on this. Or you go along and then suddenly come around the corner and there would be a person in a costume that you weren't expecting or something along those lines. But that's
freaky,
theatre
spooky,
rather than a joke. It's like a sort of ghost train to a certain
extent.
It's
using the garden as a sort of
It's the theatre. It's a performance rather than anything else. I can't think. Have you played a prank on it? I mean, we've all done
on clients.
The stuff, not to clients, to colleagues. We've done the stuff where you send the apprentice to go and buy some sky blue pink paint and all of that kind of stuff, which I think is
stripy paint, sky hooks, elbow grease.
Yes,
elbow grease. We sent an Alon, who's now my boss. We once asked him to pick out all the white bits from the gravel, but we had a 10-ton load of gravel turn up, and we watched it for half an hour picking. We said that the client really hates the little white bits in it, and
he did it.
So well, for half an hour we were having our lunch, and we were all just watching him pick. He did it for about half an hour until we told him it was a wind up, and he didn't take. Be honest, he didn't take it too well. He had the right hump. Fair enough, because it's slightly humiliating, I guess.
Yeah,
but we've done those classic buildings.
We've done all that kind of stuff, and sometimes like Dean says, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. We haven't given a single accent for him, though, however, have we really?
No. Well, have you got another question, Louis? By the way, Louis thrown in. I would like a watering can hat, so every time I lean over, I water my pots.
Oh, I don't think that's. Is that Louis' question, or do you think that's somebody further up?
Oh, I see. Yeah, maybe Louis filtering.
He's filtering. It could be somebody else. We'd love to.
He's good like that, isn't he?
But that's like my Australian hat when you tip your head forward and all the water comes out. But yes, that would be useful. Except the problem with that is you would have to carry 5 liters of water around on your head, which may not be good for your neck muscles.
Well, that's that. Yeah, exactly. I'm not sure it's practical. I think it's not practical.
We like to look after our people. I've got a question. I've got a question here
You
I've just
got
gone
one?
back a little bit, which is we like this sort of question.
Okay.
Margaret Bowman, James and Joe. Hello from Oklahoma.
What, the
Where
musical?
well, exactly where the thing grows as high as an elephant's eye.
Oh,
And
yeah.
there's a Surrey with a fringe on top, and there's Howard Keel singing away. I can't remember any of the tunes.
Is that
apart-
Wells Fargo Wagon? Is that in that? A
No,
Wells
that's
Fargo
Annie Get
Wagon.
Your Gun.
I like that one.
Isn't that Annie Get Your Gun? Whip,
Anyway.
crack away, whip, crack away, whip, crack
Whip
away.
crack away.
So yeah, from Oklahoma, what's the better type of garden, bog or stumpery? You got to choose. Quick.
Bog.
Just off the top of your
I'll
head.
go bog.
Why?
Because you need stumps for a stumpery. And I haven't
Bog
got...
for a boggery.
Oh, James, I'll tell you what. You know, we were talking about gardening in your trainers a few weeks ago. And I couldn't remember the name of that garden where the head gardener, Mark, and it's Mulverley's. The garden is called Mulverley's.
Yes, I've been
And
there.
I'll tell you why I'm talking about it now, because it's got an amazing stumpery there. It's a beautiful stumpery, because I'll be honest with you, stumperies before have never been my thing.
Cool. They're quite cool,
But it's a really cool stumpery, and the light was coming through in this sort of woodland setting, and all these ferns coming out, and it was really, and I was like, I get it now. I get this stumpery. I'm not saying I'd rather have a bog garden. I don't know why, but maybe I want.
I'd rather have a stumpery. I've seen two really good stumperies. One was a friend of mine who put these, basically not just the stumps, but the entire dead trees, big dead trees upside down, so they look like columns that are sort of slightly falling apart in an Egyptian temple on the side of the Nile.
Wow.
Well, actually, more the reason I'm saying that is because it suddenly made me think of Death on the Nile.
Yeah.
You know, where nothing to do with stumps or trees, but they're sort of columns that fall over and nearly hit somebody on the head. And I can't tell you who the person who's the murderer, because I might spoil it for somebody.
Oh, no, you're going to spoil it.
Not yet seen. No, I'm not going to say who it is. But and I've seen the one, and this is a bit of a name drop here. I've seen the one at Highgrove. A lot of people.
Yeah, I've seen it's not name dropping. Everyone gets to go to Highgrove. You can. I was doing a talk there. You know, just because you were probably invited around for tea or something. But you can actually pay. You can actually pay some money and just go straight in there
and go and look at the stumpery. And that stumpery is quite impressive. I mean, that was the first stumpery that I'd seen. It was designed by Julian and Isabel Bannerman many years ago, basically, wasn't it? And that was a good stumpery. So there you go, Margaret Bowman. I think we got one bog and one stump.
Yeah, we got one each there.
I've got a question here from Andrea.
Where's Andrea from?
Andrea is not telling us where she's from.
I think Tasmania, maybe.
I don't think she comes from. Oh no, hang on. She comes from Lancashire, but she's Yorkshire through and through. P.S.
Oh, go on.
P.S. She says here, please, James, please,
I
beg you, James, please don't. Just please don't try another Yorkshire accent. Your Australian is so much better. She's basically deflecting me from Yorkshire to Australia, so I upset a nation rather than upsetting a country. But okay, I'm not going to do a Yorkshire accent. I
don't think she can elect another country where you can't say, "Well, I'm from Yorkshire, but I'd rather hear you do it."
I'm not going to do an Australian one either. I'm just going to do it in a boring accent. I'm going to do it in my most boring accent. Ready for the boring accent?
Do a boring accent. Try to see if we all nod off by the time you finish the question.
Hello, both. As you are garden designers with a certain pedigree, highly thought of and sought after. It was quite nice actually. She's been nice to us. This is a question for you both. There are two choices. One, Joe/James, which is your favorite design that the other has done and why? Ooh. My favorite garden of Joseph's. I liked very much your Chelsea 2010 garden.
Because it was 2012, but very good stab. You had a great stab at that.
2012. Very nice garden, very, very good irises, nice water, nice arches over the whole thing. I like that garden a lot. And I remember you telling me about that garden in the Indian restaurant in Solihull the year before.
Was I? Yeah.
Yeah, because when you're thinking about it, you say, have a look at this. And you showed
sadly, the curry is probably more great. It's better remembered than the garden, probably.
No, I remember both. I remember that moment.
Thank you. It's an iconic garden, James, and it does resurface. It does resurface. Thank you.
I like the garden, and I like your garden at Stoke Mandeville too, actually.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
The
well, I've
HRS
never
garden.
been to yours in Glasgow, but I will. It's a long way from Dorset to Glasgow.
It's quite a long way, Dorset.
I haven't actually seen in person many of your real gardens. I loved your Chelsea garden, the Sound Garden. I thought that was fantastic. I loved it. I got it. I stood there. I was vibrated
You
upon,
were throbbed.
or whatever the word. I
Throbbed
was
is what you were.
throbbed. I was throbbed around. But I love your own garden, really, because I think it says more about you, and you've been there in a while, and it's really looking good now. And I think that's where
quite
you've.
nice. That's nice.
Well,
And you saw the one before as well, didn't you?
Yeah, I did see the one
The
before,
previous one.
and I like that garden a lot, but
Yeah.
I prefer the new garden because it hasn't had to be designed with sort of, kids and stuff. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I think you're maturing as a designer.
Oh, thank you so much. That's
what
fair.
it
Maturing generally. And then her other question is, which is your least favorite design that the other one?
Oh no, we're not answering that.
I don't want to answer that because I don't think it would be counterproductive.
Yeah,
Basically.
it would be counterproductive, but at the same time, I can't actually remember enough of your
each other's
designs.
gardens enough. We see them in magazines, but we don't actually go to them very much because we've got clients and we deal with that. It's a sort of
I love
slightly
that garden of
different
yours. I'm the self-seeded one as well. That was in Gardens Illustrated last year. It just sort of, you just let it go and it all seeded, and there was lots of Cicericium everywhere.
deal. Yeah, that's quite fun.
That was a
that
really
garden.
nice looking garden.
I like that garden. That's been a number of books. That's been it's in a book called The Contemporary Garden, which is just.
Oh, is it in that Contemporary Garden, that new book?
Yeah, the one that Annie.
It's about 400 quid in it, that book.
I don't know. I got a free one because my garden was in it.
Well, my garden's in it, not in it. I want a free one.
Oh, well, you have to ask nicely. And
you got free clothing, you get a free book, you get everything free.
Well, yeah. Well,
do you actually buy anything?
I buy almost everything. All of it. Okay, so that's Andrea. Okay, now I've got another question here.
Have you?
Yeah.
It'll have to be our last question, I believe.
Is it? Are we getting to
well,
that
I don't
time?
know. I'm presuming.
I think we're all right. We're going for about 45 minutes or something. Is there anybody on this list who we've missed out? There's Petra, who's coming from tropical Deddington. Somebody from Croatia who's
Lynn Shaw. I also have Gina's trousers. They're all wearing the gear.
That's it. And Nicola Henson's got a gilet. Do you think that's spelt right?
Gilet.
I think it should be, but she spelt it Gillette, but it's like the razor but without the T.
The best a man can get,
or make or get, or something on that.
No, best a man can get. Gillette. It's a rhyme. It's called a rhyme.
This is a Gillette.
It's a gilet, and it's spelled. I think it's one L and one. Yeah, I think that's spelled,
one L and a T and a single T. I think
because also in Hackney there's a jazz club called the Vortex in. Well, I call it Gilet Square, but it's not. It's Gillette Square, Gillette, and I think it's GILLETTE. No, that's Gillette. It's something like that, isn't it?
Gillette. Anyway, Gillette. Nicola Henson with her gilet. There's Lynn Shaw, who's come from Vancouver Island, like Babs. Hello, Lynn Shaw from Vancouver Island. Send us a question. Okay, I've got a question here. Anonymous. Okay. Anonymous person.
Okay.
Thank you so much for your podcast that regularly makes me laugh out loud and is guaranteed to put me in a good mood. I have recently bought a modest, slightly tumbled down Georgian property in the countryside and would love to create a romantic garden to go with it. I'm imagining myself as Elizabeth Bennet from Pride and Prejudice with James as my butler. Joe,
yes.
Joe, you can be my chauffeur or even my gardener. But I would appreciate some advice about how to create this romantic vibe. I love roses and grasses, but do they go together? What other plants and also hardscaping could I think about?
Oh wow, we got a 4-hour consultation here.
We've got a consultation. We got another free consultation, is what this is. And why is it? What's the anonymity about? Do you think this is somebody we know?
Yeah. Why? What will become clear? Why anonymous?
Who do you think it is? Do you know who's buying a property in the countryside somewhere close to me? Is Beyonce and Jay-Z. Do you think it's them?
It might be them.
Do you think they've sent in a question and they want to remain anonymous?
They're Garden Collective subscribers, both of them.
Well, I would hope so. I mean,
they got two for the price of one.
Almost everybody is.
Yeah.
Okay, so how to create a romantic vibe? If you walk into a garden, you think, "Oh, this is so romantic. I just want to sit on this bench and gaze at the flowers and hold hands with somebody."
It's a sort of it's a cottagey type, but it's also roses. It's wisteria. It's jasmines, it's Philadelphus, it's scented plants, it's delphiniums, it's the sort of all flowery but okay, I think the big question here is do grasses work in that? I mean, they can work, and they can work in the extended landscape and more rural areas and stuff. But on the whole, do you think they bring too much of a contemporary edge to that type of?
No, because I don't. I think by doing that, you're saying that roses cannot be contemporary. Where they can, I think that they can go together quite happily. You can have, grasses.
No, grasses and roses can, but what about in this style of garden? It's got romantic Georgian property.
I think it's a Georgian property, but because it's a Georgian property, we're not living in a Georgian age. She would like to herself as Elizabeth Bennet, but she's sure as hell not going to wander around in an A-line dress with her cleavage sticking out a little bit. She's going to be wearing layers and jeans trousers and all sorts of sensible things like that.
What about topiary? Maybe a bit of topiary, quite romantic.
Topiary would be quite nice. That would work quite well. I mean, it's that sort of classic thing which people still use. I still use it sometimes now. Is where you have the solidity of the topiary and then the romance of the roses and the flowers around it, and that always works really, really nicely and works well. It gives a certain architecture and an evergreen oomph to it. What are you going on?
And hard landscaping, I think you've got to go quite, you reclaim materials, you've got to go, brick and stone and granite, whatever it might be. I mean, you don't want to go, you can't, it's just sticking with the period to a degree. But I still think, it's like my garden, I inherited a lot of stone here, and I've slightly updated the way it's used, and it's a bit more contemporary, but it still feels comfortable. So I think you're either trying to create a sort of historical recreation of a Georgian type garden to go with the house, or you've got to somehow bring it up to date. And I think that's where you and me go around there and charge some money.
Yeah, so you can do it. Is absolutely no problem at all. I'm there already because I'm working as the butler.
Apparently, you're already there as a butler. I'm the chauffeur and gardener, so I'm quite busy actually.
Well, I'm actually quite busy too. There's a lot of buttling that needs to be done here.
Yeah,
I've got to.
It doesn't say head gardener. It just says gardener. I'm not even being appointed head gardener. I think I'll just do the chauffeuring bit because you might get a pair of driver's gloves with them.
Do you remember Upstairs, Downstairs?
Yeah.
And the chauffeur was John Alderton, wasn't it?
Yes.
And he married Pauline. He was with Pauline Collins anyway, and then he married Pauline Collins, who sadly died the other day. But I don't think that I can remember a program like that, or even I haven't really watched much of Downton Abbey. Is there a gardener in Downton Abbey? Because there sure as hell wasn't one in Upstairs.
Downstairs. I haven't watched any Downton Abbey whatsoever. So you're asking the wrong person.
A lot of people will have watched it. So if somebody could tell us whether there is a gardener in Downton Abbey.
There must be. Who looks after all the gardens? It might not be on camera.
Well, exactly. And that I feel is the wrong thing. And that what you're doing is that you've got these gardens wandering around the place and you have to give credit to the gardener. So I would like the gardeners to be there in a tweed 2-piece suit, 3-piece suit, because that's what they will be wearing at that time, possibly with a leather apron. We haven't discussed aprons, have we? Have you got an apron?
I do not have an apron of any description whatsoever. I have worn them in the kitchen, but they tend to be cats. Have you got a leather apron? But don't you have to be aren't you sort of making shoes for, aren't you a forger or something?
You'd be a farrier, because then you
farrier.
Have an apron.
Why do you want one of them if you're a gardener, an apron?
Because you have an apron to protect your clothing.
What? But when you lean over, they flap out. I don't think they're practical. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, again, you can have an apron with a loop on it that holds it to your. Okay, this is my.
Have you got an apron, James?
I haven't got an apron.
I'm not getting you one for Christmas. I'm sorry.
I'd like an apron. I invented
Stop dropping that hint.
I invented an apron. Was it an apron or was it a boy? It was a pair of dungarees that I invented when I did my first ever Chelsea garden, which was in 1999, long time ago. It was with the Express. And I did it in sort of partnership with a dress designer called Bruce Oldfield. And he at that moment was designing a line of uniforms for some uniform company. And so we said, okay, we do some gardening trousers. And so we did these dungarees. And my contribution was the fact that, the pocket at the top of the dungarees, I put a little hole at the bottom of it so you could put a ball of string in the top pocket, and then the tail would come out through the little hole. So it would just be there, and you pull it, and it was like a genius idea. And we made all these
James, I
dungarees
didn't.
with those in it. And we put an advertisement. We're going to get into tragedy now. We got an advertisement in the newspaper
Yeah.
so that people could buy them during Chelsea.
Right.
And they had a whole load of people, or it was before the internet. So the people lined up ready to answer the telephone. There's a special free phone number.
Wow.
To ring up to
Big
get it.
business.
It was all set up. The problem is they printed the wrong number in the paper. And so everybody was ringing and it was going, this number is not
You're
known.
joking.
And there were a whole load of people sitting there waiting to sell these patent Bruce Elfield, James Alexander-Sinclair dungarees.
Oh,
Not
no.
a single one. Not a single
Oh, that's
one.
a sad story because, I mean, it's such a genius idea having a pocket with you can just access your string and you can
Just a
just
little eyelet. Yeah.
I can't believe you haven't made millions from that concept.
See, it'll have to be part of our
So
investment.
how many pairs? So you must have hundreds of pairs of dungarees they're knocking around. Are they under the bed? They're under the bed with the
under the bed
with Jekyll.
We're hanging around with Jekyll. They're all there. Okay. I think that we have we sort of reached the end? We've done, yeah.
We have. Yeah, we have.
I've got a question here from Natasha Butchik. How to influence people's awareness that garden design is not limited to central olive tree and gravel, under which there is a weed barrier fabric and the only hedge options are exclusively cherry laurel or Photinia. Oh dear, this is in Croatia. I think we're going to talk about this on another moment. Let's
do a Croatian special.
We're going to let's do a whole. We could do what I tell you what would be quite fun. We could go on a sort of virtual trip around the world.
Yeah,
we could go and talk. People would come in, especially from Croatia.
I'd love to go to Croatia. Actually, we've just drawn them in the World Cup as well. England,
yes,
Croatia.
They're
bloody good at football. That lot.
They have a good football team. So Natasha, I presume it's Natasha. It's got interesting. Everything actually is there, and we will talk about it. We're going to talk about it another time. So please, will you come back? And we will not forget this because Louis will make a note of that. And basically, okay. So this has been a lovely time. Thank you very much indeed for being here, all of you lovely subscribers.
Yeah, it's been good, hasn't it? It's been fun. I think we're a bit smoother than last week because we were just finding our feet, and I was actually trying to find out how to turn the microphone on my phone.
We had a couple of teething troubles, I think.
Teething issues that we've all smoothed it all out now.
And
we got a sponsor.
We got a sponsor.
We're big, James.
We're big. We're huge. We're massive.
It's a breakthrough.
We're ridiculously vast. I'll tell you the other thing that we've got, which I've forgotten about, or I haven't forgotten about. No, we've covered everything we're supposed to cover. So this episode will go out next Tuesday to everybody else who is not a member of the Garden Collective. If you wanted to have it earlier, then come and sign up to the Garden Collective. It is so worthwhile. There is not just us early and without advertisements, but there are other writers, and there's audio, and there's video, and there's other people talking about live streams, like we've got people talking about their books, we've got people talking about food, we've got people talking about all sorts of things on that. So come and join us there. This episode will go out next week. That will be the 16th, and then we're going to take a couple of weeks break because it's Christmas. Come on,
Christmas time. I'm not going to sing.
No.
I'm a bit bar humbuggy about Christmas, but I love seeing people. I love seeing people for a few days. It's just when it starts in August and finishes around March, so it's like, but a couple of days, lovely. Am I going to see you over Christmas, Jimmy?
I hope so. I don't know what
I hope so.
Let's
go for a walk in a winter wonderland.
It's quite a long way to drive to you to come for a walk, and likewise the other way.
We'll meet halfway, and we'll go to a pub, and I'll be lovely.
It'll be frosty and Christmassy
and lunchy.
There'll be fat elves and Father Christmas and all of those kind of stuff.
Exactly.
So we're going to do that. So this comes out on the 16th. I may have got this completely wrong, in which case Louis will shout at me, but hey, tough. Comes out on the 16th, and then we'll be back again with another episode, which will come out on the 5th. I think the 5th of January. I think we're doing another live, so hopefully you'll all come back. We will remind you, don't worry. In the meantime, have a lovely Christmas. Bye. I tell you what, a really, really good Christmas present for everybody. Buy your relations and your friends and the gardener who you know and love a subscription to the Garden Collective, and they too can join in next time we do this. So
it's a very good prezi because also you don't have to go to the shops. Two don't have to get a package coming. You don't have to meet a package and then have to take the price off and repackage it, and then you could it's all online, right?
Every day that person will think of you and this lovely gift that they've actually.
I think it's a really good prezi.
I think it's a fantastic present. Every single day, it will give you something throughout the next year. So sign them up and get them for your friends. In the meantime, from the James and Joe Garden Show. That was a solo. You could have joined it a little bit.
I couldn't. I can't just break in the middle of it. You know me.
You could have just taken up the end, but you didn't do it this time. We will see you next time. Thank you so much for being with us. From me, James.
And me, Joe. Thank you.
All right. See you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.